Mossad, origins, operations, and legacy of Israel's elite intelligence agency. The Mossad, Israel's national intelligence agency, stands among the most secretive and effective intelligence services in the world. Often compared to the CIA, US, and MI6, UK, Mossad has built a reputation for high-profile operations including assassinations, espionage, and counter-terrorism activities. With roots tracing back to the formation of the State of Israel, Mossad has played a pivotal role in safeguarding national security and executing strategic foreign operations. This video explores the origins of Mossad, its notable leaders, famous missions, legendary spies, and controversial activities, supported by real-world examples and historical records. Origins and founders of Mossad. Mossad was officially founded on December 13, 1949, under the directive of Israel's first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion. It was originally called the Central Institute for Coordination and was designed to centralize Israel's various intelligence operations, which were fragmented across military and civilian departments. The founding director was Reuven Shiloah, a close advisor to Ben-Gurion and a former official of the Jewish Agency's political department. Shiloah aimed to create an intelligence agency that would serve as the long arm of Israel, especially in gathering foreign intelligence, conducting covert operations, and managing strategic assets abroad. Initially, Mossad operated without a formal budget or structure, but by the early 1950s, it began establishing its global presence, particularly in Europe and the Middle East. Its main divisions include Collections Department, Human Intelligence Gathering, HUMINT, Special Operations Division, Houghton, Assassination and Sabotage, LAP, Lohama Psychologit, Psychological Warfare, Tevel Division, Liaison with Foreign Intelligence Services. Famous Mossad operations. 1. Capture of Adolf Eichmann, 1960. One of Mossad's most celebrated operations was the capture of Adolf Eichmann, a top Nazi official responsible for organizing the Holocaust. Eichmann had fled to Argentina after World War II under a false identity. In May 1960, Mossad agents tracked him down in Buenos Aires. A team led by Isser Harel, Mossad's director at the time, kidnapped Eichmann and smuggled him back to Israel via El Al Airlines. He stood trial in Jerusalem and was executed in 1962. The operation showcased Mossad's global reach and deep moral resolve to bring Holocaust criminals to justice. 2. Operation of Wrath of God, 1972 to 1988. Following the Munich massacre at the 1972 Olympics, where 11 Israeli athletes were killed by the Palestinian group Black September, Mossad launched Operation of Wrath of God, a series of assassinations targeting individuals linked to the attack. Over the next 2 decades, Mossad agents eliminated numerous operatives in Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. One of the most famous missions was the killing of Ali Hassan Salameh, a high-ranking member of Black September, in a car bombing in Beirut in 1979. 3. Operation Entebbe Intelligence Support, 1976. Although primarily a military mission, Operation Entebbe, also known as Operation Thunderbolt, was made possible by intelligence provided by Mossad. After Air France Flight 139 was hijacked and flown to Uganda, Mossad agents quickly gathered intelligence on the Entebbe airport layout and the terrorists. The successful rescue by Israeli commandos, which resulted in the safe return of 102 hostages, remains one of the most daring and successful hostage rescue missions in history. 4. Operation Diamond, 1966. In a mission involving years of planning, Mossad persuaded Munir Redfa, an Iraqi pilot, to defect and deliver a Soviet-made MiG-21 jet fighter to Israel. This aircraft was critical in understanding Arab Air Force capabilities. Redfa flew the jet to Israel in August 1966, where it was studied and later shared with U.S. defense authorities. 5. Iranian nuclear program sabotage, 2020s. Mossad has allegedly played a key role in sabotaging Iran's nuclear program. These operations include the assassination of nuclear scientists, cyber attacks such as Stuxnet, in collaboration with the CIA, and a daring raid on a Tehran warehouse in 2018 where Mossad agents stole thousands of documents related to Iran's nuclear program. Here is a detailed list of famous individuals who were killed, or allegedly killed, by Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. Assassination of Fathi Shikaki, 1995. Fathi Shikaki was the co-founder and Secretary-General of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, PIJ. He was assassinated in Malta while returning from Libya. Gunmen on motorcycles shot him multiple times outside a hotel. This operation was not publicly disclosed, but it was widely attributed to Mossad. Yahya el-Mashad, killed, 1980. He was Egyptian nuclear physicist working with Iraq's nuclear program under Saddam Hussein. He was found bludgeoned to death in a Paris hotel. Gerald Bull, killed, 1990. He was Canadian weapons engineer working on Project Babylon, an Iraqi supergun capable of launching satellites or missiles. Gerald Bull was shot dead outside his Brussels apartment. Mossad is the prime suspect of his murder, though not confirmed. The Project Babylon was collapsed after his death. Imad Mughniya, killed, 2008. He was the senior military commander of Hezbollah, responsible for numerous attacks on Israeli and Western targets, including 1983 Beirut barracks bombing, 241 U.S. Marines killed. 1992 Israeli embassy bombing in Buenos Aires. Mughniya was killed by a car bomb in Damascus, Syria. It is believed that this operation had been carried out by Mossad and the CIA. Atef Psizo, killed, 1992. He was a senior official in PLO intelligence, linked to the Munich attack. He was shot in Paris while leaving a hotel. This incident is seen as part of Mossad's lingering campaign against those involved in Munich. Wadi Haddad, died, 1978, allegedly poisoned. Haddad was the leader of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, responsible for airline hijackings. He was allegedly poisoned through chocolate or toothpaste laced with a slow-acting toxin in East Germany. He died in a hospital in East Berlin. It is strongly believed that German and Israeli sources were involved in his death. Hassan Lakiz, killed, 2013. Lakiz was Hezbollah's top military and logistics commander. He was shot dead in Beirut near his home. Hezbollah blamed Israel, though Mossad denied involvement. Ismail Haniyeh, killed, 2024. Haniyeh's assassination occurred on July 31, 2024, while Haniyeh was staying in a military-run guesthouse in North Tehran during the inauguration of Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. In December 2024, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, explicitly confirmed that Israel was behind the assassination, marking the first time the government had publicly acknowledged its role. Iranian nuclear scientist's assassination, 2010 to 2021. Several nuclear scientists in Iran were assassinated via car bombs, magnetic explosives, or remote-controlled guns. Notably, Mostafa Ahmadi Roshan, Majid Shariari, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, 2020, assassinated in a highly sophisticated remote attack. Israel has not officially claimed responsibility, but intelligence officials, including U.S. sources, point to Mossad. Famous Mossad spies and agents. Eli Cohen, 1924 to 1965. Arguably the most legendary Mossad agent, Eli Cohen infiltrated the highest ranks of the Syrian government under the alias Kamel Amin Nobet. Operating from 1961 to 1965, Cohen developed close relationships with Syrian military and political figures, even being considered for a ministerial post. His intelligence played a vital role in Israel's victory in the Six-Day War of 1967. He was eventually caught by Syrian counterintelligence, tortured, and publicly hanged in Damascus in 1965. Cohen remains a national hero in Israel. Zvi Malchin, the Mossad agent who physically captured Adolf Eichmann during the 1960 operation in Argentina. He helped subdue Eichmann and drive him to the safe house where agents prepared for the exfiltration mission. Yehuda Gil, a Mossad agent who became infamous for fabricating intelligence in the 1990s, leading Israel to almost enter war with Syria based on false information. Though not a success story, Gil's case highlights the internal challenges Mossad faces. Alleged and controversial operations. Lillehammer Affair, 1973. In one of Mossad's major failures, agents mistakenly assassinated Ahmed Bachiki, a Moroccan waiter in Norway, believing him to be Ali Hassan Salameh. Several agents were arrested by Norwegian authorities. The operation was widely condemned and forced a major restructuring of Mossad. Assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, 2010. Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, a Hamas military commander. He was involved in arms smuggling from Iran to Gaza. He was found dead in a Dubai hotel. It was believed that he had been electrocuted and drugged with a muscle relaxant. Although Mossad never confirmed involvement, Dubai police accused the agency of orchestrating the murder using forged European passports and a sophisticated team of over 20 operatives. The incident strained diplomatic ties between Israel and several countries and raised concerns over identity theft, surveillance, and covert killings. Strategic importance and global network. Mossad operates outside the legal boundaries of most countries, often engaging in espionage that treads the line between legal and extrajudicial actions. Its strategic goals include preventing terrorism against Israeli citizens worldwide, monitoring and sabotaging enemy states' capabilities, protecting Jewish communities abroad, influencing foreign policy indirectly through covert means. Mossad also works closely with foreign agencies like the CIA, MI6, and even Saudi intelligence, particularly on matters related to Iran and terrorism. Technology and modern tools. In the 21st century, Mossad has integrated advanced cyber warfare, surveillance technology, and artificial intelligence. It reportedly operates several cyber units, including one that was involved in the Stuxnet virus that disrupted Iran's Natanz nuclear plant. Mossad also runs recruitment websites in multiple languages, encouraging diaspora Jews and sympathetic non-Israelis to serve in intelligence roles. Criticism and ethical debates. While admired for its effectiveness, Mossad has faced criticism on several fronts. Assassinations in foreign countries often breach international law. Use of fake passports and identities have endangered dual nationals. Collateral damage in operations has led to innocent deaths. However, supporters argue that such measures are necessary for a country facing constant threats from hostile neighbors and global terrorist networks. The capture and arrest of Nazi officers after World War II was one of the most significant international justice efforts in modern history. These arrests were carried out through a combination of military occupation efforts, international tribunals, intelligence operations, notably by Mossad, and individual justice-seeking survivors or agents. Here we give a detailed overview of how Nazi officers were tracked down, arrested, and brought to justice, including key figures, operations, and methods used by Mossad and other agencies. 1. Post-war justice, the Nuremberg trials, 1945 to 1946. After the defeat of Nazi Germany in 1945, the Allied powers, US, UK, USSR, and France, established the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg, Germany to prosecute high-ranking Nazi officials for crimes against humanity, war crimes, crimes against peace. Key arrested figures at Nuremberg include Hermann Göring, Reichsmarschall and head of the Luftwaffe, German Air Force. Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy and Nazi Party leader. Joachim von Ribbentrop, Nazi foreign minister. Wilhelm Keitel, chief of the German armed forces. Albert Speer, Hitler's chief architect and minister of armaments. Many were captured by Allied forces shortly after the German surrender and stood trial from 1945 to 1946. 12 were sentenced to death and others were sent to prison. 2. Escape routes, the Nazi Ratlins. Many Nazis escaped immediate arrest by using Ratlins, underground escape routes assisted by Nazi sympathizers, clergy, especially in Italy, and former SS networks. These routes often led to Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Chile, and Egypt, where ex-Nazis lived under aliases. Key routes included: through Italy, Rome and Genoa, using Red Cross travel documents and Vatican connections. With help from Croatian clergy, notably Bishop Alois Houghton. Via Spanish ports, aided by Franco's regime. 3. Mossad and the capture of Adolf Eichmann, 1960, with more details. Adolf Eichmann was a key architect of the final solution, the Nazi plan to exterminate the Jewish population. After the war, he escaped to Argentina using false papers under the name Ricardo Clement. In May 1960, after years of tracking, Mossad located Eichmann in Buenos Aires. A Mossad team, led by Isser Harel, surveilled Eichmann and confirmed his identity. On May 11, 1960, they kidnapped Eichmann on his way home and held him in a safe house. He was smuggled out of Argentina aboard an El Al plane disguised as an airline crew member. Eichmann stood trial in Jerusalem in 1961, was found guilty, and was executed by hanging in 1962, the only civil execution ever carried out in Israel. 4. Other captures and assassinations. Klaus Barbie, the Butcher of Lyon. He was head of the Gestapo in Lyon, France, and responsible for mass torture and deportation of Jews. Klaus Barbie escaped to Bolivia, where he lived as Klaus Altmann. He was arrested in 1983, extradited to France, and sentenced to life imprisonment in 1987. Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death. Mengele conducted brutal experiments on Auschwitz inmates, especially twins and children. He escaped to Argentina, then Paraguay and Brazil. Despite years of pursuit by Mossad and Nazi hunters, he died in 1979 in Brazil and was never captured. Franz Stangl. Stangl was commandant of Treblinka extermination camp and responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths. He fled to Brazil, but was arrested in 1967 after a tip from Nazi hunter Simon Wiesenthal. He was extradited to Germany and sentenced to life imprisonment in 1970. 5. Nazi hunters and their role. Simon Wiesenthal. Simon Wiesenthal was a Holocaust survivor who dedicated his life to tracking Nazi war criminals. He played a key role in locating Eichmann, Stangl, and Barbie. He also founded the Wiesenthal Center, which continues to document and expose Nazi crimes. Beat and Serge Klarsfeld. They were a German-French couple who exposed many former Nazis in France and Germany. Their efforts led to the arrest of Kurt Lischke, Herbert Hagen, and others. 6. Legal and moral controversies. Kidnapping in foreign countries. Mossad's operations in countries like Argentina and Lebanon raised diplomatic disputes. Argentina condemned Eichmann's abduction but later accepted Israel's legal justification. Statutes of limitation and amnesty. In some countries, laws limited the prosecution of war crimes or offered amnesty, causing frustration among survivors. Germany abolished the statute of limitations for genocide in the 1970s. 7. Modern efforts and recent trials. While many key Nazis have died, modern trials and investigations have continued. John Demjanjuk, alleged Sobibor guard, was extradited from the US and convicted in Germany in 2011. Oskar Groening, the bookkeeper of Auschwitz, was convicted in 2015 at age 94. Bruno Day, a former SS guard, was convicted in 2020 at age 93 for his role at Stutthof. The Mossad's history is one of daring missions, profound secrecy, and complex ethical questions. Its role in capturing war criminals, protecting Israel from existential threats, and executing high-risk operations across continents has made it one of the most formidable intelligence agencies in the world. While some of its tactics remain controversial, Mossad continues to influence global security dynamics, making it not just a protector of Israel but a significant player in international espionage. Mossad has built its reputation on stealth, precision, and global reach. While many of its operations remain classified, those that have come to light reveal a shadow war fought in city streets, hotel rooms, and quiet alleyways around the world. Whether admired for protecting Israel or criticized for extrajudicial killings, Mossad's operations have shaped modern intelligence warfare and continue to influence global geopolitics. We hope you have found the video useful. Thank you for watching.